What if I told you that while everyone else is winterizing their gardens, you could be harvesting fresh salad greens in just 3 weeks? No greenhouse, no fancy setup, just dirt, seeds, and a little bit of November magic. Stick around because what I'm about to show you will completely flip your understanding of cold weather growing. Hey there, garden friends. Welcome back to Earthly Gardening, where we keep your hands dirty and your wallet happy. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us because today's episode is going to save you money and fill your plate faster than any drive-thru ever could. And to my returning viewers, you absolute legends, thank you for being here. You know we always keep it real, simple, and budget-friendly. Before we dig into these fast-growing November champions, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss our practical gardening hacks. And hey, if you learned something new today or if I convince you to throw some seeds in the ground this month, drop a comment below and let me know which crop you're most excited to try. Seriously, I read every single one, and your comments help other gardeners in our community too. All right, let's get growing. Look, I get it. November feels like the month where gardens go to sleep. Everyone's raking leaves, putting away tools, and ordering takeout because, let's be honest, who wants to think about growing food when it's getting chilly outside? But here's the secret that seasoned gardeners know. November is actually prime time for planting crops that grow faster than your patience can run out. We're talking vegetables that'll be ready before December even thinks about arriving. And the best part? These are so low maintenance that even if you forget about them for a week, they'll still thrive. This is lazy gardening at its finest, and I'm here for it. Crop 1. Arugula. First up, we've got arugula, and this leafy green is basically the overachiever of the November garden. While other plants are taking their sweet time, arugula goes from seed to your salad bowl in about 20 to 25 days. Yeah, you heard that right. Less than a month. Now, why does arugula love November? Because it actually prefers cooler weather. When it's hot, arugula gets bitter and bolts faster than you can say, peppery leaves. But in November's mild temperatures, it stays tender, flavorful, and just spicy enough to make your taste buds dance. Here's how simple this is. Scatter the seeds directly into your soil about 1/4 inch deep. You don't even need perfect rows. Honestly, just sprinkle them like you're seasoning a dish. Water them in and then basically ignore them. Arugula doesn't need babying. It'll push through the soil in about 5 days, and before you know it, you're harvesting. The money-saving angle here? A single packet of arugula seeds costs maybe $2 and gives you months of harvests because you can keep planting every 2 weeks. Compare that to buying those fancy spring mix boxes at the store for $6 a pop. You do the math. Crop 2, radishes. Next, let's talk about radishes, the absolute speed champions of the vegetable world. If arugula is fast, radishes are lightning. We're talking 21 to 28 days from seed to harvest. That's faster than most people stick to their New Year's resolutions. Radishes are perfect for November because they actually develop better flavor in cooler weather. Summer radishes can get woody and too spicy, but November radishes? Crisp, mild, and satisfying with every crunch. Planting them is almost comically easy. Push your seeds about 1/2 inch into loose soil, space them roughly 1 inch apart, cover them up and water. That's it. No fertilizer needed, no special treatment. Radishes are the definition of plant it and forget it. Here's a pro tip that'll blow your mind. Don't just grow the classic red radishes. Try varieties like Easter egg that give you pink, purple, and white radishes all from one planting. It makes your harvest look like you actually know what you're doing, even if you're totally winging it. And for you lazy gardeners out there, here's the kicker. Radishes actually loosen up compact soil as they grow. So not only are you getting food, you're improving your garden for next season without lifting a finger. Talk about working smarter, not harder. Quick pause here. If you're enjoying these fast-growing crop ideas, smash that like button for me. It helps the algorithm show this video to more gardeners who need this information. And drop a comment telling me, what's your biggest challenge with November gardening? I want to hear from you because your questions inspire future videos. All right, back to the crops. Crop 3, spinach. Number 3 is spinach, and this is where things get interesting. Spinach is that friend who actually performs better under pressure. When temperatures drop, spinach leaves get sweeter because the plant converts starches into sugars as a natural antifreeze. So November spinach tastes better than spinach grown any other time of year. You're looking at about 30 to 40 days until your first harvest, but here's the beautiful part. You can start picking baby leaves even earlier, around 3 weeks, and the plant just keeps producing. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Planting spinach is straightforward. Sow seeds about ½ inch deep, roughly 2 inches apart. Water consistently but don't drown them. Spinach likes moisture but hates sitting in puddles. Once they sprout, thin them out if they're too crowded, and toss those thinnings right into your salad. Nothing goes to waste. Budget tip: one $4 packet of spinach seeds can feed you fresh greens all winter long if you do succession planting every couple of weeks. Compare that to buying organic spinach at the grocery store where you're paying $5 for a container that wilts in 3 days. Growing your own is a no-brainer. Crop 4. Lettuce. Coming in at number 4, we have lettuce, and specifically, I'm talking about loose-leaf varieties because they're faster and more forgiving than head lettuce. Varieties like black-seeded Simpson or red sales will be ready to harvest in about 30 days, and you can start picking leaves even sooner. Lettuce is another cool season lover. It despises heat, which makes November absolutely perfect. The leaves stay tender, crisp, and bitter-free. Here's the lazy gardener method. Broadcast the seeds over prepared soil. Barely cover them because lettuce seeds need some light to germinate. Pat them down gently, and water with a fine mist. In about a week, you'll see those tiny green specks popping up everywhere. Once they're a few inches tall, start harvesting the outer leaves and let the center keep growing. This cut-and-come-again method means one planting gives you multiple harvests. And here's something most people don't realize. Lettuce is one of the easiest crops to grow in containers. So if you don't have garden space or you're dealing with terrible soil, just grab a shallow pot, fill it with a cheap potting mix, and grow your salad on your porch. Urban gardeners, this one's for you. Crop 5. Green onions. Last but definitely not least, we've got green onions, also called scallions, and these might be the ultimate lazy gardener crop because you can literally grow them from kitchen scraps. No seeds required, though seeds work great too. If you're using scraps, save the white root ends next time you buy green onions from the store. Stick them in a glass of water on your windowsill for a few days until roots develop, then plant them in soil about 1 inch deep. Within 2 to 3 weeks, you've got fresh green onions ready to harvest. And here's the magic. When you harvest, leave about 1 inch of the white part in the soil, and it'll regrow. You can get 3 to 4 harvests from a single planting. If you're starting from seeds, scatter them in shallow trenches about 1/4 inch deep, cover lightly, and water. They'll be ready in about 60 days for full-sized onions, but you can start harvesting baby ones in just 20 to 30 days. The money angle here is insane. Green onions cost about $2 for a small bunch at the store, and they go bad in your fridge within a week. But growing them means you always have fresh ones whenever you need them for soups, tacos, stir-fries, whatever. Plus, they take up almost no space. You could grow them in a container on your apartment balcony and still have more than you can use. Alright, before we wrap up, I want to give you a few bonus tips that'll make your November planting even more successful. First, mulch matters. Even though these crops love cool weather, a light layer of straw or shredded leaves around your plants helps regulate soil temperature and keeps moisture consistent. Plus, it keeps your produce cleaner because nothing's splashing dirt onto your lettuce when it rains. Second, water in the morning. November can bring unpredictable weather, and watering in the morning gives your plants time to dry before cooler evening temperatures set in. This prevents fungal issues and keeps your crops healthy. Third, don't stress about perfect spacing. I know seed packets have all these specific instructions, but honestly, you can be way more relaxed with these fast-growing crops. Plants will thin themselves out naturally, and you can always pull extras to eat as microgreens. Gardening doesn't have to be precise to be productive. And finally, watch for frost warnings. Most of these crops can handle light frosts just fine. Actually, some like spinach taste even better after a frost. But if a hard freeze is coming, Throw a lightweight row cover or even an old bedsheet over your plants overnight. It's cheap insurance for your harvest. So there you have it, 5 fast food crops that you can plant right now in November without breaking the bank or your back. Arugula for peppery punch, radishes for quick crunch, spinach for sweet nutrition, lettuce for endless salads, and green onions for flavor in everything. The beauty of these crops is they don't care if you're a beginner or if you've been gardening for decades. They just grow. And in a world where grocery prices keep climbing, being able to walk outside and harvest fresh food in 3 weeks feels like a superpower. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to Earthly Gardening so you don't miss our upcoming winter gardening videos. Hit that like button, drop a comment with which crop you're planting first, and share this with a friend who needs to know that November gardening is not only possible but actually easier than summer gardening. Thanks for hanging out with me today, garden friends. Now get outside, get those seeds in the ground, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy growing!